Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. If you joined me last week and if this is your first time, welcome aboard. I am Alona Umakuro and I'm here in the state of North Carolina, which is considered an attorney state as far as loan closings. That basically means that closings have to be done under the supervision of an attorney in our state. So typically when I do closings, a lot of times there will be an attorney available. We may call the attorney before we get started. They'll ask if they have any questions. Sometimes they'll stay on the phone for the duration of the signing to be available for the signer. That's basically what being an attorney state means. I just wanted to give you that information because I think there is some misinformation on the internet. I've seen some people write things like, you can't be a notary signing agent in an attorney state. In the state of North Carolina, you can. Maybe some other attorney states you can't, but in the state of North Carolina, you can. It just means that your assignments, whatever company hires you, they do that under the supervision of an attorney. So now that we got that out of the way, in today's video, I wanted to share with you some of the upfront starting costs to becoming a notary signing agent. Like I said in my last video, if you're starting from scratch, this is where you want to be, because I'm going to give you each week a foundation that you can build upon so that you can be successful. So I told you the very beginning phases last week, and this week I'm going to give you the next step. So some of the upfront starting costs that you're going to want to be prepared for is, of course, you're going to want to take your notary class. In the state of North Carolina, you can do that at a local community college. Some community colleges even offer online notary classes so that you can get your notary commission. The notary class at most community colleges is about $75. So know that you have that upfront cost. Next to your notary class, you're going to want to get some notary training, some notary signing agent training to be specific. And like I said, there is a plethora of different options available. There are a lot of training programs out there, just depending on what you think you need, what you can afford even. There's no law that says that once you take one training, you can't take another one. You can cross train, you can do a combination of different trainings, but just factor that into your upfront starting cost. Whatever notary signing agent program training you sign up for, you definitely want to factor that into your upfront starting cost. So you've got your notary training, you've got your notary signing agent training. So just know that after your notary class in the state of North Carolina, you have to submit a notary application fee to the Secretary of State. So after your class, they'll give you the application. You'll go to someone and actually get that notarized before you send that off. So you'll get that notarized, you'll sign in front of a notary, send that off to the Secretary of State with your payment. And the fee for that, I believe, is $50. It was $50 when I did it, unless it's gone up. But you could definitely look on the North Carolina Secretary of State website to see what the exact fee is. But I think it's still $50. So know that you're going to have that fee involved. So after you submit your notary application fee, the Secretary of State will more than likely email you. I think they don't really mail the oath letters as much as email. I know mine was emailed to me. So they will email you your oath letter. And what that is, that's a letter that you'll take to your Register of Deeds office in whatever county you live in. And you will be sworn in as a notary. So there is a fee involved for that too. So you'll be prepared to pay that. I believe the fee is like $10. And not that it's a lot, but you want to be calculating all these fees so that you have it in mind that all of these little things add up. So you want to pay your oath letter fee. After you're sworn in, that's when you can purchase your notary stamp and seal. Now, when I did training to be a notary, I was always told that we had to wait to buy our notary stamp and seal because you can't use it until you're actually sworn in. So that's what I did. But you can order it off of Amazon. There's some other places you can order it. You do want to look in your notary public manual to see what the specific size is, because some places online may give you whatever size that they use in another state. And you want to make sure that the size requirements are in the same requirement for North Carolina. So that's the only thing you want to be cautious of if you do order it offline. I did order mine off of Amazon, and I think the company that I used, they actually did have like a drop down for what state you were in. And so when you chose North Carolina, it automatically defaulted to the size requirement for North Carolina for your stamp. I thought that was pretty cool. So you get your notary stamp, you got your notary seal, your training, and you will want to get the National Notary Association certification. You'll want to get NNA certified. It's not necessarily required, but most companies would like for you to have that, and they do want you to have the NNA background check as well. There are a few companies who may ask you to do a background check through some other company, but the standard for most agencies is the NNA background check. And they usually do want you to do that yearly. So that's something that you'll do every year. And your certification is something that you'll do every year for the NNA. The NNA certification, if I'm not mistaken, look on the website. But if I'm not mistaken, to become a member of the NNA, I think it's like, I'm not going to give you wrong figures, but just look that up. Definitely calculate that into your cost as well. Your NNA membership, and is the NNA membership worth it? I think it is. I like getting the notary bulletins. They give you updated information about any law changes for your state. They also have a hotline that if you've got some docs, you're not necessarily sure about a certificate, that hotline, they'll tell you what you can do for your state with that certificate. So I would not, definitely say that that's a good investment, the NNA membership and getting the NNA certification and background check. So after you get that, another expense is you're going to want to have a laser printer. And if you have looked at videos on becoming a notary signing agent, you probably know that the recommendation is to have a dual tray laser printer. And if with so many startup costs, if you don't have a printer at all, or if you have a laser printer but it's not dual tray, you may hold off on getting a dual tray printer. Doing it with a single tray is totally doable. Is it an extra step? Yes. But is it something to make you not get started in the business? In my opinion, no. I got started off with a single tray laser printer and it worked just fine. I just made sure that I changed my paper from letter to legal and changed the print settings. It worked. And also, a lot of companies that I've been getting assignments from, some of them have even requested that just everything be on letter anyway, because they know that, it makes things easier, it makes things faster. And they're all about wanting to do whatever they can do to get their docs back faster so that they can close these loans. That's what they're in the business of doing. So, if that's one extra step off of the notary who's, kind of the layperson in between them, a lot of them are agreeable to that, so just know that you can do it with a single tray printer. There's even software that you can buy to sort your documents from legal to PDF. There's notaryrotary.com. They have a resource available that converts your documents between letter and PDF. So it's definitely doable. It's not impossible if you don't have a dual tray laser printer. But what you don't want to have is an inkjet. Inkjet printers smudge, they smear documents. If they get wet, forget it. Your docs are destroyed. So you definitely want to have laser. If you got a printer, of course, you're going to need ink, you're going to need toner, you're going to need paper. All of those are initial startup costs that you're going to want to calculate into your initial costs. You're going to want to calculate your travel for gas. And you're going to want some E&O insurance. Most companies will not hire you if you don't have at least $25,000 worth of E&O insurance. The NNA. I'm not endorsing the NNA. They don't pay me to say anything positive about them. These are just my experiences, okay? But the NNA does offer a pretty affordable E&O insurance for notaries. So look into that. Also, you may decide to set up your business as an LLC as opposed to a doing business as. That's totally up to you. But if you do set up as an LLC in the state of North Carolina, that's an additional cost. In North Carolina, I believe it's around $130, somewhere along there, to turn in your application to set up your business as an LLC. You're going to want to get an EIN number. And your EIN number is completely free. If you go to the IRS government website, EIN numbers are free. If any website, any company tells you to pay for your EIN number, run, because they are trying to scam you and take your money. You can get an EIN number totally free. If you're having trouble figuring out how to get an EIN number, leave me a comment, inbox me. If you're in North Carolina, I don't mind helping someone do that, because it's not something that you should have to pay for. It's a totally free thing that you can do. So if you're having trouble with that, I don't mind guiding you along of how to walk you through how to do that on the internet on your own computer. That's totally free. And you're going to want to get a business bank account. Also something that isn't necessarily a cost involved, but you do have to have like an initial deposit at most banks. Most banks may ask you to have like an initial $25 counter deposit to open your account, or $100 counter deposit to open your account. So just something else. Other things that you may want to invest in. You may want to create yourself a Google business page. No, I don't get a lot of signing requests from my Google business page, but I do get quite a bit of general notary work from my Google business page. So if you're interested in doing general notary work alongside of your signing agent work, a Google business page is definitely worth investing your time in creating. Also, you're going to want to have some business cards. That's another cost that you're going to want to factor in. And your marketing materials. If you decide to set up a website, whether it's through GoDaddy or some other site like that, there's usually like some type of cost involved in that. And then after you've done all of that and you've, invested all of that energy and money into all those different things, that's when you're going to want to sign up with title companies and signing companies and things of that nature. Why do I say do that after doing all those things? Because they're going to request all of that. When you start signing up with signing companies, the one thing that no one ever told me is how many applications you're going to have to fill out. It's like when you graduate from college and you're looking for a job and you're going on, like, you're signing, filling out all these applications for all these different jobs. It's like that. It's some of the applications are ridiculously large. I've had applications with as many as 30 pages. That's a bit of a nuisance. That's a bit tedious, but it's worth it in the end. You get a lot of business. And those companies are going to ask for all those things that I just mentioned. They're going to ask for your E&O. They're going to ask for your EIN or your social. And I prefer to create an EIN because I didn't want to be putting my social in all these different places, where so much fraud can happen from that. So, it's worth it to create an EIN and turn all that in. They're going to want a copy of your background check. They're going to want all of that information. Some of them even ask for references and things of that nature. So it's just like applying for any other type of job. You got to produce your credentials along with your application. So those are the tips for the day, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, enjoyed this content. Please leave me a comment if you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, if you have something that you want me to talk about that's especially in the state of North Carolina where I am, leave me a comment, leave me an inbox message, and I will try to answer your question or comment in my next video, which I try to drop videos every Monday morning. So come right back here next week. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.